Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So in step one, we're going to define our DAO interface. I'll create this new package here named DAO. So just give the package name here, DAO. And now I'll go ahead and create a new interface called student DAO. So new, and be sure to select interface here in the list. Be sure that interface is selected because we're creating a new interface. And the name of this interface is student DAO. Okay, so we have this interface student DAO. We'll define this method here, save. We pass in a student. And just go ahead and fix the imports here. And this should import our student from our entity package. Now in step two, we're going to define our DAO implementation. In our DAO package, we'll create this new class, student DAO impl. And the first thing we do here is we say implements student DAO. We're implementing that interface. We can go ahead and say implement the methods for us to kind of stub things out. Let's go ahead and annotate this class with a repository annotation. This will give us support for component scanning and also handle the Spring support for our exception translation. Let me expand my window here for a second. And I'll kind of give myself some space here at the bottom, some room to stretch out. And I'll write some quick comments here to myself just to kind of keep myself on track. We'll define the field for the entity manager, inject the entity manager using constructor injection, and then finally implement the save method. All right, so I'll move in here. I'll define this field for the entity manager. And now we'll inject the entity manager using constructor injection. I'll simply generate this constructor. And I'll make use of the auto-wired annotation. Remember, the auto-wired annotation is optional if we only have one constructor, but I'll put it here just to make the code easier to follow and read. And now I'll go and add the transactional annotation. Since we're performing an update on the database, we're actually saving or storing an object in the database. So I'll make use of this transactional annotation from the Spring framework. So be sure to choose the item here from the Spring framework. And remember, this transactional annotation will kind of handle the transaction management for us accordingly. And now I can kind of move into the method and do the work. And it's really easy here. I simply say entity manager.persist, and I give the student object. And so this will actually save the student to the database. Alrighty, so kind of scrolling up a bit, this coding all looks pretty good. So this is the main coding here that you'd want to have in place here for that student DAO implementation. This looks really good. I'm happy.